name's Mateo Ramirez. I'm 38 years old, and a few months ago, I died. Not in the poetic sense, not some emotional collapse or figure of speech. I mean it, my heart stopped, my body failed, and I left this world behind. It all happened in a cold hospital room in New York, far from my home in Quezon City. I was in the ICU, surrounded by machines, wires, and doctors whose faces I never truly saw. My wife Angela had been by my side for days, watching my body slowly give up. I had a severe infection, one that spread so fast it shut down my organs, crushed my lungs, and forced doctors to cut a hole in my throat just so I could breathe. They tried everything, but eventually the machines just kept me alive, artificially. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't blink, but somehow I was still aware, still conscious. Deep inside, I knew I was dying, and yet I felt no pain, no fear, just a strange silence, as if the world itself had stepped back, and I was floating alone in a stillness that couldn't be explained. I didn't hear any angels singing. I didn't see clouds, no flashing lights, only a weightless drift. Until something shifted. I saw my own body, from above, pale, fragile, connected to beeping machines. My wife was holding my hand. She was crying, but I couldn't reach her. I wanted to scream, to tell her I was okay, but I had no mouth, no sound. Then, I was pulled, not violently, but gently, by something I couldn't see, like gravity, but upward, like love, but stronger than anything I'd ever known. The walls of the ICU faded, and what replaced them was unlike anything on earth. There was no ground, just atmosphere, like walking on air that pulsed with energy. I wasn't afraid. For the first time in my life, I felt completely seen, completely known. Every secret, every wound, every prayer, I never spoke aloud. It was like they were all open, understood, and held with compassion. Then, it came. A light. But not the kind of light you see with your eyes. This one, it felt alive. It didn't just shine, it embraced. It wrapped around me like a memory I had forgotten but deeply missed. My soul trembled. I didn't need anyone to tell me what this was. I knew. Every part of me knew. It was him, the one they called Jesus. He didn't walk. He didn't float. He simply was. Present. Real. Infinite. And when our eyes met, it wasn't judgment I felt. It was love. Pure. Burning. Gentle. Terrifying in its power. And yet somehow, comforting like a father's hug after years of being lost. Mateo, you're not done. Walk with me. His voice didn't echo. It melted into me, like a song I had always known but forgotten. Like water to a man dying of thirst. And in that instant, the hospital, the machines, the body I left behind, they all vanished. There was only him and me and the path ahead that I didn't even see, but I knew it had to be followed. And so I took the first step into a reality I never believed existed. Not a dream, not a vision, but the truest place I've ever known. And what he showed me next would change everything. The light didn't blind me, it welcomed me. It wasn't like staring into the sun. It was soft, living like it knew exactly how broken I was, and it wrapped itself around every crack in my soul. I wasn't floating anymore. I was standing, barefoot, on something I couldn't describe. Smooth, glowing almost like glass, but warm like skin. I looked around and saw no walls, no ceiling, only horizon, only light. And then I felt it, a presence. Not just near me, but in me. It wasn't terrifying. It was holy. A love so deep, I couldn't stand straight. My knees gave out. I collapsed, sobbing without tears, because every failure I ever tried to hide was now laid bare. Yet, I didn't feel judged. I felt known, and still wanted. Then I heard a voice behind me. No footsteps, just a voice that sounded like wind and thunder and laughter all at once. Mateo, my name, spoken like it mattered, like it was precious, like it was always his. Stand, you are not here by mistake. Walk with me. I turned. I didn't need to ask who it was. Every part of me already knew. It was Jesus, not the Sunday school painting version, but the living presence of the Son of God. His eyes, oh God, his eyes, they held galaxies. Fire, sorrow, joy, everything. He looked at me and I felt seen, not just my actions, but my intentions, my struggles, my fears. And still, he smiled. I stood slowly. My legs didn't shake anymore. Because when Jesus looks at you like that, you feel like you belong. He walked beside me, not ahead, not above, beside. Mateo, do you know why you are here? I couldn't speak. But somehow he heard my answer. The confusion, the weight of my years, chasing money, praise, success. I saw flashes my office, the arguments with my wife, my daughter's last birthday, where I left early for a meeting, the homeless man I stepped over on Ayala Avenue, the Bible my grandmother gave me, still sealed in plastic. I called to you many times, through your daughter's laughter, through the ache in your chest, through silence. You were never alone. I wanted to cry, but there were no tears here, just truth. This place, it is not yet your home. But before you go, I must show you something. Something the world needs to see. Suddenly, the horizon shifted. The glowing floor beneath us rippled like water and turned into a sea of memory. I saw Earth but not as a globe. It was like an open storybook. Pages of lives, cities breathing, wars beginning, prayers rising like smoke. And I saw mine, my life, played back, but not in chronological order, no. It was like the emotional impact of each moment sorted everything. Moments of love burned brighter than money. Moments of indifference were heavy and cold. And then, he touched my shoulder. Come, there is more. We moved not by walking, but by willing. And suddenly, we stood before something vast, majestic, terrifying. A great valley stretching far beyond my imagination, filled with sounds, whispers, echoes, regrets, prayers, promises, some broken, some kept. I felt the trembling of the